Hello and welcome to the Sheep Seats. I'm your host, Matthew, aka Sheep, aka Dark Sheep. Apparently, I've got my head cut off. How is everyone doing tonight? It is Friday. We've made it through another week. We are about 3 weeks away from our beloved seventh inning stretch contest closing. We are going to be waiting here on our friend Nez to join us in a few minutes. What's new? I don't know why I asked that. You can't really reply back, but yeah, we're doing good. We're doing good here. We have we have the contest here. We're 18.7% full. Got lots to go, lots to fill left, but we got a few weeks left too. So happy Friday. Happy Friday. We have a few shows left. Right now, the tentative plan is to pick up on Thursday next week because I'm going camping for the weekend, and then we're gonna run. Then there's a Friday, and then a Thursday after that, and then the contest starts on a Friday. So we have. I don't know if he's ready, but I'm throwing him on here.
I'm ready. I'm ready, man. Let's do this. What's going on, man?
Or I have my settings weird and I can't hear anything. Yep, that's me. It's all me.
Okay.
All right.
Off to a hot start. Sorry, I'm a little late, man. The Pirates made a unforeseen comeback against the Marlins, and I didn't expect to be late, but I was caught up watching that a little bit. So you'll have to forgive me.
I will.
The fandom took over. We only need 5, by the way. Sorry, I'm in here.
Oh, well, you're in there? Let's get in there.
4.
We need 4. That's excellent.
How you?
It just fired.
Hold on. Sorry, what? I just joined. But where do I get one of these shirts?
Where do you get one of these shirts? This is a 1 of 1.
1 of 1.
So far,
I feel like I need it as a guest. Like if I'm on here, I want to like rep the brand. Come on.
Okay. That
you got a little printing machine at home?
No, I got this from the first place that comes up on Google that says
the what place?
I forget what it's called, but I just searched Google quick T-shirt.
That's amazing.
It's the first one.
The internet is amazing. That's fantastic.
But I'm not super happy with the T-shirt itself.
So, oh, really? Is it like not great quality cotton?
Yeah, it's kind of heavy and
it's heavy.
As expensive it is to make like a few one-off products, I don't really want to go with this. So
okay, that's fair. I will say like heavy cotton is usually not a bad problem. Usually it's like, oh man, this shirt is gonna rip, or you know what I mean? I don't know. The Pirates won, so all is well. Sorry, I had to.
Okay. Maybe I'm too fat is the thing, and I'd have to buy a giant one. That could be the problem.
For me, I'm in Dallas, Texas, and
yeah, it's been hot there.
A little bit. The feels like temperature is like 110 during the day. Not fun, not ideal. But so like heavy cotton, like I can't, like I'm rocking like a Under Armour like workout shirt just to stay cool out here.
Well, as easily the most returning guest, you are first on the list for the shirt.
I think I earned that. I think I earned that. Thank you.
Especially tonight. My oh man.
Cycle and a steal.
Cycle.
And a
steal.
I feel like that's like a cycle
fantasy
plus
points.
1. Yeah,
that's a few fantasy points. So that'll how long till people start making fun of us for talking about how bad the LE ADP is?
I don't care. It's still bad. I don't care. But the Reds, man, like really out of nowhere, just coming on so strong. I will say, I mean, like it's obviously, as a Pirates fan, it's not fun, but
Right.
objectively, that team is young and exciting.
Yep.
But we'll see how long it lasts. I mean, for me, I think the first thing that would go for them would probably their pitching. I think that they could be a little bit over their heads as far as how well they've been
Yeah.
pitching. Um, but
Yeah.
the
So
sticks seem legit.
right now, why don't I don't even see him on the list. Here, I pulled up the playoff odds because as we were drafting, maybe we were going to talk about some players that could get traded
Yeah.
and stuff.
Huh.
Why are they not on the list?
Ooh, maybe they did they not update this in like 2 weeks?
Well, it's got
maybe longer.
Am I blind? Let's go to division.
I'm gonna
That
check
has to show
myself.
it. There you go. Reds. So they basically
20%. Okay.
21, about the same as the Cubs, and it's
Greater than the Cardinals. That's all that matters.
So
Good.
we're firing. I don't know. I guess.
Wait, and your YouTube name it's it. Oh wow, you are in the display because he never strikes out. That's why.
Yeah, I never strike out with my fantasy picks. That's me.
That's the bit. That's the bit.
I did change it, so the channel name was now the Sheep Seats. So I must have mistyped the rest of it at the same time.
There's so many there's like a display name, and then there's like your handle. There's so much shit to keep straight on there on YouTube. Oh, we got the Evan Silva imposter. I said imposter on here. I still want to know who that is. So he claims it's not him. So he says. Oh man, I'm so just out of sorts with this Pirates win. I wish so dearly I could draft Henry Davis in this contest, but I don't think he was on the 40 man. And I do believe that is how they tend to, or their
and that at this point it was when. Sorry, I'm updating it. All right, I should be Dark Sheep now. The case should be back.
Nice.
Easy. So we are here at 11 and 12 on this draft.
Oh wow, right next to one another. That's fun.
A lot of friends here. Dave's in here. Wu-Tang is in here.
Oh, nice. What's up?
TK11, Chip, T-Bear.
I love it, man. Thanks for coming out, you guys. Thanks for getting this draft started, getting some more drafts into the contest. We are still, oh boy, how many?
Yeah, so we're 18.7% full.
Oh boy,
I'm on the clock.
I don't like picking back here anymore.
Yeah, I don't either. I'm going to do something I haven't done much of at all. As you well know, I'm pretty out on pitchers in the first few rounds, but
right.
I don't want to have zero Spencer Strider.
Yeah, I think that's fair. As far as the pitchers go, which everybody's kind of underperforming a little bit. I mean, he still has the highest ceiling. All right, I'm going to start with Jordan and stay true to my playoff thesis. But after this, it's kind of a mixed bag here. Kyle Tucker is quietly having a disappointing season. So I don't feel good about taking him there.
And they're also the word they're going now. It's going to be pretty common in this period of the draft to have those guys together. I feel like.
Yeah, that's true. And we still have 20, we're not even 20% full yet. So a lot of time for these combos to get chalkier. So we'll do something like that. We'll do Jordan and Randy.
Yeah, I'm gonna get a little crazy here and skip these outfielders and take Vlad just in honor of him finally hitting his first home run in Toronto. this
Gotta
season.
love that.
tonight.
Gotta love him finally getting that home run where the park made it like they just made it easier to homer there, and it still has taken him this long. Definitely a little strange. His woes. I mean, I don't know. He's definitely somebody that can bounce back though. You know what I mean? Like who's gonna like I'm not saying he's done for. So
Yeah.
I think the All-Star break will be good for a lot of these guys. There's a lot of these name brand guys, in my opinion, that just really haven't shown out necessarily.
Yeah. I've, for the most part, just been sticking to Freddie in the first round for infielders.
Yeah.
But
He went 8 here. What's his ADP now? He's 7 ADP. I thought he was at one point up to like top 5. Maybe that was just like a short sample.
that could be true. The Corbin Carroll actually kind of fell here to 7.
Oh, yeah, that's a rare occurrence these days. He's making his way into top 5 territory. Which what do you think? Are you like, if you were at the 7 pick, would you take Corbin Carroll there, or would you go Freddie Freeman?
I'd probably go flip a coin.
Yeah,
Just because I have taken quite a bit of Freddie, so that's more just a exposure mix between those guys.
gotcha. Okay, well that's fair.
But no, I went out. The Cardinals Diamondbacks were here in Milwaukee this week, so my son and I went out on Tuesday.
Nice.
Because I wanted to go see the ADP riser in action.
Yeah, how was it?
Yeah, it was good. We got some nice seats. And then he didn't like the box score didn't look great for him. He had like a single.
Okay.
But he almost hit one out. It was almost it was like a curving rope out to the outfield that had a good defensive play on it. That could have been a double, or just a little bit further would have been a home run. And like he almost beat out a infield.
Oh, you got to see the speed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when he was on base, he went from first to third, just like nothing. So, I mean, that's
cool to see in person. I haven't seen. He's on my list.
Yeah.
I don't think he's made his way to Texas yet for a Rangers game, but I do like to do that. I like to go see some guys in person. How's your son like the baseball games? Is it fun? Like, is it fun, or do you kind of like keep him engaged a little bit?
Yeah, no, he enjoys it. This year's is also his first year in Little League.
Oh, nice.
So we talk a little bit about, the game a little bit more now that he's played a few games himself.
That's so cool.
He's got that. I was never any good at actually playing baseball, so
I was nothing to write home about either. I was a pitcher and not even that great at that.
Oh yeah, I didn't even make it through like Little League, right? The whatever the next step is, the
like junior league. I don't know. It's all different. Yeah, right. Like depending on what region you're in, like after Little League, it's all spread out. It's all just like whatever. Yeah. But so is it coach pitch, or is he actually facing like other children on the mound?
So it is player pitch, but there's no walks. It's coach pitch after 4 balls.
Oh, okay.
Which is much better, because then the kids get to swing the bat.
Yeah, that's cool. I'm glad to see how they've evolved things. Because it can be a merry-go-round out there sometimes.
Right. And the other fun thing is that there's like 10 kids on each team, or 10 or 11, but the lineup is all 11 kids.
Oh, that makes sense.
So they bat all the way through. Usually the games they bat through, everybody gets 2 at bats, and then
nice. So that's nice. A good system. Yeah, because you just got to get the kids to just get a feel for the, just like a want to play. Got to generate a love for the game. You can't be having kids like sitting on the bench and stuff at that age. Yeah. Like let them swing the bat.
Yeah, that was me.
Yeah,
because and then anytime I would get into the game, I would just like freak out because I was anxious about it because I didn't play enough.
Yeah, right. That's what I mean. Then it puts pressure on, because you're like, okay, well now I'm finally in the game. Like I better do something. And then it's awful. People in my hometown, man, used to take. I mean, and this isn't just like specific to where I grew up, but like took baseball extremely serious in the
Oh,
youth at the youth levels. There was a kid who like was bigger than everybody else at that time, which like there's always kids like that where people grow up, and he swung he used a softball bat like because he got the extra barrel. Like really. Really? We're squeezing edges and it wasn't even Little League. It was like the step below Little League. Sorry, I'll let you talk through your pick here.
All right, we're just gonna pair Springer with Vlad here. We're gonna scroll down a little bit and just get an outfielder to go with Vlad.
Should I buy should I buy the dip on the clubhouse cancer here? Wander Franco?
Yeah, I mean, I don't
for at least 2 games. Oh man. Do we start to panic? You think he's going to be out on the field?
I do think that in general Tampa is starting to show signs of who they actually are in terms of what to expect out of their offense.
Yeah.
That they were really overplaying a bit.
100%. 100%.
But he seems to have taken the next step that everybody wanted.
Right. A lot of it was just like health too. It's like, can this dude just like be on the field to accumulate stats? And the steals are just a pleasant surprise.
All right. We're going to take boring Christian Yelich here.
All right.
Devers is another guy that's cold. I didn't really want to put him with Vlad. I don't like him.
It's weird.
Or I don't like passing him here, or I'm fine with him here. Same thing with Witt. But I didn't love putting 2 super cold guys hoping to bounce back together as the anchors.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry, I'll let you go.
I don't know. I just briefly glanced at the article. What they said, basically, he's yelling at his teammates, and he's like slamming stuff down with other players around him.
Putting them in danger.
Yeah, was how they put it, but it sounded like normal stuff that players that get upset can do. But
yeah, like okay, he's doing a little, he's showing a little passion. He's getting fired up. Like not the worst problem to have. But I was gonna say regarding Devers. Like last year, we had the injuries, right? Like he was swinging the bat and then like constantly like kind of grabbing his elbow or whatever it was that was kind of nagging him. Well, I was like, all right, well, get him healthy and we're going to see normal Devers and he's going to go back to normal. Well, we haven't really seen that just yet. And I know like this game that we play is so counting stats heavy that you kind of sometimes lose sight of what guys are doing. Like, for example, like, I was looking at Bobby Witt's slash line the other day. I was like, oh my God, this guy's trash.
Yep.
And he's like accumulated 655 fantasy points, which is more than Yandy Diaz. Like,
yep.
It's hard for me sometimes to separate, the game that we play versus like the real life value of guys. But Devers has a 105 WRC plus. All that being said, is like it's not like he's not it's not like he's getting unlucky. He's not playing well on top of it. Truly.
Yeah, he does continue to project well, fine in daily contests. So it's not like the underlying stuff there is starting to lay off that his projection is going down. So that whether or not you believe projections adjust quick enough, that's a whole another discussion. But it's not that people are getting off of him completely.
Yeah, no, and I won't either in dailies. Like anytime the Red Sox have a nice matchup, I'm gonna attack for sure with Devers. It's just slow. I don't know. It's interesting with some of these like name brand guys that we're so used to. Speaking of, we got a Brian Reynolds slide. Go ahead.
Yeah, you were saying that you're talking about how the scoring in here just really sort of sometimes gets lost when you're thinking about baseball as a game and even other fantasy baseball. I was listening to Rates and Barrels the other day and somebody wrote in a question like, should I be worried about Matt Olson? And I was like, what? Why in the world would anybody be worried about Matt Olson? What? And I looked, his batting average is like, I don't know, it's low 200s or whatever. But I was like, it never even occurred to me because he's like one of the top scoring infielders in this format that we play mostly. And
yeah, wow, Roto is really just like an entirely different world.
Right.
I mean, he's WRC plus wise, he's having a better season than he was last year. It's just the average, yeah, but he's like walking more,
231.
slugging more.
Oh, and that could be that he's walking more, that they're not getting they're not getting the hits and stuff too.
Yeah,
So.
that's really funny. I mean, that just kind of goes to show, man. I don't know if you have a level head about things, that this can like definitely be the contest for you. But if that's like your MO, but I will say, man, I get in some of these drafts, and I it's not always easily done for me. Oh my, is that my dog?
Oh.
It is. He's mad that I don't crush every draft, but sometimes
Oh.
I panic. I don't know, like I really do. Sometimes it's just like the ADP's gotten sharper.
Yeah, I do feel like we're getting good ADP, but there's still guys that go up and down. I think you said it on your show yesterday that if you start taking guys, you can set ADP if you're doing a handful of drafts in a couple of days.
I will seriously testify that like I was the reason Will Smith was in the 80s. Like, it's because I was taking him. I was drafting as often as I could for a while. While I think it was while Bria was out of town, just crushing drafts. And I was like, well, I really like Will Smith, and I want to get him, but yeah, that turned out to be a little silly.
You're on the clock.
Yeah. All right, this is Mitch Keller time. It's so funny, man. Mitch Keller goes up and down 10 spots depending on if he had a good start that week or not.
Yeah.
and he just had one, but he's still sitting at the 60s. And then after that, this is where things get kind of tricky, but I think Yandy Diaz is like easy pick for me here, just to get the triple stack going.
Yeah, the thing there was I didn't know if you're going to go with the Baltimore stack or not.
Yeah, I take a lot of Adley,
I was kind of quiet there because I took Nimmo hoping to get Lindor back, because I like that little pairing there, guys that again are not super exciting, but are accumulators.
Yeah,
that you don't think about.
I know, man. It's weird. I don't know if maybe it's just me, and obviously like you're in the same boat, but like the Mets, I have to like kind of force myself to take. Like they're I know they're good. I know that they have good hitters, but Lindor is always such like it takes so much effort for me to get there on him. But Nimmo, it doesn't. I love Nimmo. I think Nimmo is really good for the format that we play, and getting Alonso back earlier than expected is obviously awesome. He's probably, I mean, dude, going at pick 58, like that's a good price for him. Maybe he's not undervalued in ADP, but I just think he's a little underappreciated. I don't know. He just does what he does. You know, what's his on base percentage 400 again? Like, I wouldn't be surprised. I'm not like totally on top of these stats.
I'm not sure.
I'll pull it up. It is 373. So, but slugging 425. I think people think Nimmo slugs like sub 400.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it just gets a bad rap. Yep. Mostly by my co-host John. John needs to get hip with Nimmo, man. Nimmo's good.
Well, John's much more into the big beefy guys.
He is, yeah. He's more of a like maybe a Vogelback type or a Cal Raleigh type, one of those big beefy boys, which they do well.
Yeah. So we did actually. Good segue here. Mets did trade Eduardo Escobar today.
Yes.
Who I was kind of surprised. I haven't heard his name said. I kind of forgot that he existed, to be honest.
Same. And according to some guy that I saw on my timeline, and this is probably more of a testament to the Mets pitching prospects, which I like couldn't name a single one. The one pitching prospect they got back apparently we'll see major league time for them soon, was the sounds of it, that he's like, it was a nice return. But yeah, haven't really heard from Escobar because it's been Beatty starting, but it's not like Beatty's been like crushing either. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he earned that shot, but hasn't really kept it. But that does set them up for making another move there.
The Mets?
Yeah. Yeah, and bringing in another infielder.
Yeah, I do think they're going to go for it. I don't see them like capitulating on the season just because they've spent so much money. But things are
Yeah,
things
and
are interesting there. I mean, dude, 20%
they
chance
have,
to make the
they
playoffs.
have the same playoff chance as the Reds, which is fun to think about.
I gotta be
But
honest,
yeah,
man, that feels bad to me. I would. I mean, like I know that like it's models and stuff, and like yada, and it's not a human being choosing that number.
yeah,
I would put that at like 50. Like I what they're still good. Like if you were to look at the projections of each individual player, right? Like would that necessarily make sense 1-to-1 with a 20% playoff chance when you compare everybody else in that playoff hunt? I personally just don't think so. I think the projections would tell you that it's greater than 20. But then again, we have the projections telling you that it is 20. So who knows?
yeah. This is where I look at these numbers and I go with them, and then uh, even now these change fairly frequently as teams go on hot streaks and stuff.
Mhm.
Just in terms of the relationship to the other team's projected wins or the current wins.
Is this the entire AL?
Yeah, well,
I think so, right? I mean, like I didn't do like
I
a
think
quick.
I know what's going on here. Is why the Reds were missing is because this is I sorted by the wild card teams, and this is not including the current
Oh,
leaders in the division. So
gotcha.
that's why, which is not what I would have thought of the Reds. But yes, the current leaders in the division, the Reds, were not on
Yeah.
that list.
I mean, dude, they beat the snot out of the Braves today. Yeah, I mean, well, that game is still going. Good lord,
Is it? Oh,
it's
so I'm
still
on
in
the
the
clock
seventh.
here. Um, I'm gonna stay strong here at outfield and take Teoscar. But I just
Okay.
love. Uh,
Yeah, I'm surprised that
and,
you love Teoscar.
um,
You think he's got like better days ahead? Or you just like
yeah,
the fact that he's just
I
like a home run candidate every day?
yes, it's that, and and he's moved up in that lineup. There was a
He
while
has.
there where he was way back in that lineup because he was on not hitting the home runs. But uh, this is a bat related projection thing that just going daily, drafting that team daily. Even when he was batting seventh, he was like the third best projected points hitter. So moving him
Yeah.
up, I think helps in terms of his daily production potential. Yeah, I'm gonna grab another pitcher here. Also, I see you got Stroman and then got Gunnar Henderson.
Yes, I did.
I don't have much Merrill Kelly.
Yeah, neither
He's
do
always
I.
been a little bit more expensive, or I take like a Pablo Lopez or a Hunter Green, who I have a ton of, and I need to back off a little bit now based
Yeah.
on potential injury.
Yeah.
Doesn't sound long term that he'll be back, but
Yeah, because
I
apparently he's been pitching through this pain that he's
right,
had, and they're just like, yeah, we're maybe they finally or they looked at like, hey, we got like playoff hopes. Let's get you right so that way we can
yeah,
get you back. And you can maybe look at that. And I know Lodolo is expected to be back in like until August.
yep,
That was as of like 9 days ago. So okay, he's still in a walking boot.
yeah.
So
I'm not taking any Lodolo. I'm pretty scared off of him, but I would be fine grabbing Hunter Green if I didn't have any as he fell because of the injury.
mhm.
But I have so much of him, I just going to take other guys in that area right now.
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, Gunner. I went with Stroman and Gunner, two risers. I don't know how far Stroman has rose, but I think Gunner is up like almost like 40 spots, maybe 30. I
Yeah,
can't.
what? Because he's at 88. There was maybe like 3 weeks ago or so that our friend Brendan Tuma had tweeted out, "Hey, this is starting to turn around here."
Yeah,
for Gunner.
big time.
And ever since then, I've tried to grab him, and he always goes before.
Yeah, Gunner. I feel like Gunner and Snell were going in like that same range.
All right. So Dave wants to know. He's wondering if he should be concerned if I have no stacks.
I mean, it's not too late. Let me look at your team, Dave.
So let's. So Harper, you can grab like an Alec Boehm late. Julio, you can grab.
A lot of options late.
Still have options if you believe in Suarez. He's always there towards the end. Let's see, Bregman. I don't really love any of the late Houston guys.
Yeah, like Corey Julks and the likes. Like I would probably not do anything there. But
Michael Harris, you can take Ozuna towards the end. Like there's
you're fine. You have options. Like stacking maybe isn't the end all be all, but it definitely helps, man. I mean, you see it in dailies, and we're playing like week long cumulative format here, so yeah, that would actually be great. I would love for everything we know to just get absolutely blown up. That would be fun.
Yeah, and I guess while we're on it, right now we're in a period where you can pretty much grab a stack of the Cubs if you want. If you believe in that offense.
Yeah, you can start it right now.
Outside, after Dansby, like everybody else kind of goes in this area the next 3 or 4 rounds. So if you're missing out on stacks and you think you want some correlation, that's a team that's there towards the middle. You can stack miscellaneous pieces of the Guardians at pretty much any time at the end. There's not a lot of demand for them.
My Tigers as well.
The Tigers are another one. Although I haven't been able to get. Sorry, I'm on the clock here. Take Logan Gilbert. I don't know.
How's he doing tonight? I'm fading him tonight. I got. It's a bold stance, but.
Oh yeah, he wasn't even on my radar. I did a handful of cycles. Yep. Here's another one. You can get Sean Murphy and then Ozuna.
Yeah, nice.
I have a couple of Orlando Arcias.
That's fun
because he seems to be the everyday guy.
I take a lot. I've been putting in Arcia into my player pool as well. I think that's a really nice shout. I would have forgot to say that otherwise, but he's like a nice hidden gem where he goes right now. What is his ADP? His ADP is 215, and he's put up 427 points so far. He's crushing, and like you said, he's in there every day.
All right, I'm going to take the fall on Julio Urias. I'm pretty off of him in general. I think he's always been overhyped. Just to go along with all the Dodgers pitchers that really like
Walker, Buehler,
Walker, Gonsolin, him all have really benefited from such great BABIPs from the defense and the shift ability, which I don't know. I'm sure there'll be plenty of discussions from now until eternity about how much the shift rule change affected the Dodgers and their pitchers this year. But yeah, I'm going to take him as a fall here.
It's interesting. Projections are like pretty down on him. I think I saw for the rest of the season. They're because he didn't have like too many great starts to begin the year, but I think he's a good buy, especially if he's starting rehab starts soon. Like it sounds like.
Yeah, and if he comes out has a good couple of outings, he'll be back up in the 80s or 70s. So.
Oh yeah, all it'll take is like a couple good outings. Like it's definitely more so a thing with the pitchers than it is the batters, right? Where like a good start here and there can really send a guy like skyrocketing.
Yep.
Into like multiple rounds.
Yeah. So we could talk pitchers here, but let's go back to this thing where I kind of titled the thing about trade deadlines. So let's try and get into that a little bit.
Sorry.
So the really weird thing this year with the trade deadline is with the addition of the extra wild card team last year, it's really, and then combined with the weakness of the central divisions in both things, it's really made it so that there's not a lot of teams that you can look at right now at this point in the season and say, oh, these guys are going to be sellers.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think you can kind of play with play around like your imagination, like who might sell and who might not. But yeah, I think with the central divisions, like it definitely kind of makes things murky. The and even like I don't know the Royals.
I don't know who the Royals have to sell outside
of
like Scott Barlow or Aroldis Chapman relievers. That I don't know what else they have to sell.
I honestly don't even I haven't even seen what I know. Chapman, like early in the season, he was kind of like back was like the word. I haven't seen what he's been up to lately, but Chapman and Barlow should be on like the first trip out of Kansas City for sure.
But they don't. We were hopeful that Singer had put it together this year, but it's not like they have any guys on the offense that are performing well that you could trade them, or they're young guys that have come up and they're still technically part of the future. I don't know. That team is just decimated.
It is. They are. It's a pretty sad state of affairs there. Chapman is still really nasty.
Okay.
26 innings pitched, 42.5 K percentage, to a sub 3 ERA. Yeah, he's out of there. That'll be good for them.
Yeah. So, brings up the White Sox here, who, if they sell, could mean an entire regime change, which has been needed for a couple of years, it seems like.
Right.
Let's see here. See them staying with their team, hoping to make playoff 8 games under 500. And that's the thing that it's hard. This is a team specifically that I was thinking about. It's hard to say they're going to be sellers right now because of that division. If they go on and have a Reds streak somehow and they win 10, 11 games in a row, like
I think they could, right? Like that's in the range of outcomes. They've got, you can squint and see the pieces there where it can take place, but the White Sox, man, they're just so strange. They're just very strangely ran. And I thought years ago that they would make a Jose Abreu trade. I thought for sure he was going to be out of there at the deadline in years past, and they never moved on from him and just like let him walk, which was good, obviously, but to not trade him at his peak whenever they were not in any position to compete, I thought was really, really strange. They're just a very weirdly ran team.
Yeah. And my friend Hoot here wants some Chappie in Texas, I think.
Some Chappie. Oh yeah, Jose Leclerc. Sorry, I saw Leclerc and I'm like, who the?
All right, I'm gonna take Correa.
Okay.
Here seems like a guy that could come back.
Let's see.
He's striking out a ton, which is weird for him, but maybe he put something together.
Kalnick, I think I'm gonna take here, but I'm gonna shop around first. Adames with a homer today was nice to see. He's talk about somebody that's been running cold.
Yeah.
Kalnick, and then truly
it's horrible.
Sorry, woo-woo.
But yeah, this is the other thing with the White Sox. Like Tim Anderson would be an awesome guy to put on the block if he had done anything at all this season.
Right? Oh man, you can't even get anything from him right now. I'm taking Austin Hayes here.
Okay, I love it.
Yeah, I did not know he was such a prolific hitter this season.
It's another quiet guy.
Yeah, he's hitting over
Putting
300.
So I'm going to take Adames here to go with Yelich and hope he figures something out. That seems to be my infield this right now. Is hope these guys figure it out.
Yeah, honestly, man, it's probably like the way to do it, right? Just like trusting the talent that we've seen, like knowing at the point that we're drafting tonight, like over half a season left to be played, and
Yeah.
it's not inconceivable that these guys can turn it around. Like it will happen. There are guys here that are underperforming that are going to absolutely like turn it around and bring their season numbers up to where they have been in the past, and doing it with extremely hot streaks that make you want to like buy in. So
Yeah.
it is interesting. So yeah, the White Sox, man, are definitely like one that I don't think they're going to sell just because of a regime change, right? Like these teams that know they're on the hot seat, they want to hope they get lucky. You know, they don't want to just sell for the next person to take their job. You know, like that doesn't really save your job.
Yeah. And so I did want to talk about the pitchers on White Sox in a second, but I do want to shout out Dave here, looking for the stacks. I did this one, I think, last draft, but I really like this combo of Rizzo and Torres in the middle.
Yeah.
You don't need Judge for that combo, and I think you can stop there. As far as the other pieces of New York are kind of getting played and, played around. There's not really like an established guy there. They're doing a lot of mixing and matching, but I think those guys are a good combo in the middle.
Yeah, I agree with that. There's not a whole lot else there to really go for. Volpe is like quietly like putting up double-digit homers and steals, but otherwise in this
batting under 200,
while batting under 200, yeah. And then there's Billy McKinney, who like lost in my my nice night last night. Is I had a lot of Billy McKinney on teams that didn't cash.
Did you? Okay.
Yeah. I was like, well, like, I don't know, man. Like those smaller slates, like tonight,
Yeah.
I went pretty hard in tonight because I was, once we got the Giants lineup, I was really excited to stack them up against Zach Davies. But tonight feels like a Mauricio Dubon and Corey Julks night that I just did not get to. So sure. I can't wait to feel disappointment.
Yeah. But back to the White Sox there, that is Giolito is, I think, the name that really stands out there.
They should
Clevenger is not, I don't think you can get much for Clevenger. He might move regardless, but Giolito seems to be the guy that if he's on a better offense, let's see what his ADP is right now and how he's doing. 123, so he's basically got a K per inning. He's put up 8 quality starts and only 5 wins. So I think he definitely benefits from a better team.
Oh, 100%. I mean,
he's a guy that
he's pitching well. I mean, like all things considered, he's got a 3.5 ERA, a 1.2 WHIP. Like he's pitching well. He just hot and cold for sure, though. You know what I mean?
Yep. This is also a rule I have. You got to stack against Zach Davies.
Yeah, you have to. Dude is not intimidating at all. Yeah, man, I think the White Sox would be well served to send some guys off to other teams, but I'll be honest, I just don't think it'll happen. Just because of the way that they've acted in the past when given the opportunity to sell. But all right, who else we got here?
Same thing with the Athletics and Tigers as with the Royals, though. Who do they really have to sell? The A's had Laureano potentially, like that would have been a great guy, but he's been hurt and he's just underperformed.
Yep. I think Seth Brown can still get moved, though.
Sure. Okay.
But like he's not. I mean, dude, I don't know if his slugging percentage is above 400 yet, so it's not like too appealing. But like that, they clearly just like don't give a fuck. So, pardon my.
But Brown's not a guy that if he goes to a contender, I think he's a he's a bench bat or a fourth outfielder, or I
think
don't
he's
know that he gets.
I think he'd be a platoon
Right.
guy.
I don't think he gets the playing time to really benefit
Yeah.
in this format.
No. No. Right. Yeah. Sorry. For us, no, not at all. He's not even hitting 200.
All right.
Oh, you're
I'm
gonna
gonna
take
take Riley Green because
Oh,
I'm missing out on.
you bastard! He's in my queue. Oh, you stole him right from me. Oh man,
Yeah.
Josh Naylor in the 150s. What happened to everybody just keeping him a nice little secret and taking him in the 20th? Why couldn't we do that some more?
Yeah, he's been your guy all off season and since this has opened up.
He started off so slow. I was feeling really bad for a while. I was like, oh my God, I've got all this Naylor on my, he was such like a perfect game target for me and all that. But okay, this is a slight reach, but like he wouldn't come back to me, I don't think. We're going to take my boy Isak. If I'm not going to take Naylor,
Okay.
I'm building out Rays. So I'm going to take Isak here. I got probably too many Rays.
Hey, I don't hate it. I think that's the only time I really want him is in a stack.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Tough sledding around this range.
Just
cue someone up so you don't take McKenzie.
All right. Yeah. I'm going to go with Bryce Miller here and combine my Seattle pitchers here.
Nice.
And enjoy those Seattle home games.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty sharp move. I mean, Bryce Miller, man, we saw him be good. Obviously, like he's had some up and down outings since then, but no reason why he can't be legitimately good again. Oh wow, sorry. Go ahead. I was looking at the Braves are kind of coming back. Let's look at these other teams here.
Oh, are they? Okay, I was going to actually look at 1 second.
No, you're good.
I want to look at how many innings Bryce Miller pitched last year, and to see if he's going to get restricted at all this year.
I don't know, man, because they're kind of going for it.
Yeah. So last year between high A and double A, he's got like 127 innings. So he's definitely in the clear there to have a full run this season. So that's pretty important from guys that you're taking that are in their first year.
That's really good. 127 is like that's excellent.
That puts him in a 150 range over the course of the season, and that's best we can expect out of any pitcher, I think, at this point in MLB.
The Tigers are only 9 games out of away from 500. Like you said, man, you alluded to the fact that the AL Central is like it's close, but it's nothing but garbage. No offense to the fans of AL Central teams, but the Tigers have, like, you want to talk about like appealing trade candidates. Like the Tigers have a lot of, I think, appealing pieces to but
who?
Well, for one, my boy Kerry Carpenter, he has years. The thing is he might cost too much for a contending team. He kind of makes sense on two ends. Like I think he has a lot of years of control left, and he's like a nice lefty stick for a team.
Sure.
I'm like I keep going back to like the Yankees, who I think need like a nice lefty bat. And if the White Sox were in contention, but the Tigers would probably not trade with the White Sox. And I don't think Kerry Carpenter gets moved either. I think the Tigers have had a lot of scrutiny on them as of, the last couple of years with like the way that they've botched a lot of different situations there. And I think they traded Soto already. So Soto isn't an option, but Woo bringing up Erod. Yeah, I think Erod. I mean, like, I would argue the contract is probably fine when he's healthy, right? I mean, like, dude, he's a pretty good pitcher. Um, and
Yeah.
yeah, that's something that you have to like take into account, but
That
I'm not
that
sure how many
that
years
could,
are left exactly.
that could be a good Mets target in that case.
Yeah, talk about that, right? Like like a team willing to eat that and to do whatever it takes to get there. They would totally do that.
He,
Escobar,
he
dude, he got a lot of. They got him for till 2026. Um, holy shit!
yeah, I
But
think they're eating the whole contract this year, but I don't know what after that.
I mean, so do you know how much he gets paid annually?
No.
What do you think is like fair value if you have control of Eduardo Rodriguez until 2026? That's two, three more seasons, 24, 25, 26. What would you say would you pay him for a year?
I think you'd have to pay like 20.
That's what I would say. That's what I would say. He comes in right under that.
Okay.
He's at like 14. He gets paid 14 mil this year, and then 18, 16, and 15. So it's not a bad contract. It's actually like
I don't Yeah, and I don't think he's worth that, but I think to sign him for you would have
exactly.
had to have paid that.
Exactly. So I think they got him at a good time. I'm a little shocked that it wasn't 20. I thought it would have been 20 as well. So you talk about the Mets, right? That kind of doubles because they've got these old pitchers. They don't know how well they're going to hold up, especially the way that they're pitching this year. I mean,
Right.
talking about Scherzer and Verlander. I think that could make some sense for the Mets, but they traded a lot of guys already, so who knows?
Right. Yeah. Verlander is a guy that I want to get more of in this contest.
Yeah. What is his
I feel like
ADP in the
we're going to hit a period
80?
where we're going to say, oh, it's 80. So it's still not like
He's gonna
it's
figure
still
something out.
there. Yeah. It's still there in a weird range that it's later than you expect, but also he hasn't really done anything yet. So yeah, but he's a guy that I don't get any, and I wish I had some.
Yeah, I would like to add more of him as well. Go ahead and let's see what you're gonna do here. Don't take Jack Sawinski, whatever the hell you do.
I don't know why he's here.
Dude, he's bad. He's atrocious.
All right. I'm going to just go with one of my most popular pitchers in this contest and the previous contest with Jordan Montgomery.
Nice. I love it.
He is actually, to me, an interesting trade candidate while you're talking about it.
Oh, yeah. That's a really good shout.
If the Cardinals keep playing like they are, like moving a guy like him for younger pitching seems like a good move for their even short-term or mid-term prospect or outlook.
So I took my a little secret of mine here. Brian Bayo, I think, is just like it's hilarious that he still goes in the 180s. He's done nothing but like pitch lights out for like 2 months, and no one really cares. And I'm totally fine. I'm totally fine with that.
I've totally blanked on him, so consider me as not caring because I didn't realize he was shoving right now.
Oh yeah, man. Brian Bayo's got a sub-4 ERA. Has for a minute. He's held the White Sox to 1 run today, which like they got a lot of righties in there, but he's got a 4 whip and but a 3.8 xFIP if that's some stats you care about. And when you look at his game log, man, he hasn't given up more than like if you take out his very first start of the season, which like this is a little arbitrary, but after that first start, he has not given up more than 3 earned runs in a start. And his pitched up to 7 innings 3 times. Love Bayo and on a good team. So
okay, I'll have to do more digging myself on him and maybe add him to my.
He's a young he's a prospect.
Yeah.
Highly touted.
I know.
Okay.
I know I remember seeing him more last year and thinking about him more
Yeah.
in season last year when
I
he
wanted
came
to
up.
see it first. I definitely wanted to see it
Okay.
because
Yeah.
and the AL East is tough, but he's held his own. I see you went Royce Lewis while I was looking that up.
Yeah, so I took Royce Lewis. Another guy. This is probably my first Royce Lewis pick, but I liked putting him with Correa there.
Yeah,
And
that's nice. Has Royce Lewis walked yet?
I don't know, but that is another team that you can stack late if you want to put if you believe in Kirilloff or Kepler or just want to add them and hope.
Yeah, they're interesting. I just think they're underperforming. Like I'll be honest, man. I think like the Guardians and Twins are. I still think they're better than what their record is today, but
Okay.
that could easily. I'm willing to eat that if that's not true. But man, paid my guy, taken Jack Sawinski, Mr. Dark Sheep. What date on the calendar do you think is the last time Jack Sawinski recorded a base hit?
The Julian calendar or the Gregorian calendar.
Whatever calendar I have on my computer.
Okay, that was a history joke.
I know. I'm sorry. I didn't pay attention to history in school. I needed meds and I didn't have them.
The joke being the calendar before the one we use now or the one we use now.
That's
it's
very
better
good.
when you explain it.
That's a very good joke. That's a very good joke. I'm sorry that went over my head. Like I said, I wasn't a good. I mean, I was fine, but when it comes to
okay.
Anyways,
I'll say what is it? I don't even know what today is. Actually, I should know because tomorrow's my anniversary. I just gotta look.
Congratulations.
Yeah. 12 years.
Wow, that's awesome, man.
I'll say it was May 13th.
Okay, you were close. It's a June 13th. But
okay.
That's a long time for somebody that's started on the 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. He started every game up until today. They finally sat his ass. Oh God, he's so frustrating, dude. I can't he just annoys the hell out of me. But he's a Ben Cherington darling. Anyways, I'm just glad I didn't tout him.
Let's I mean, you drafted him, but you didn't tout him.
I drafted him a couple times. I drafted more Cannon Smith and Jigma. I'll own that. I'll own the Cannon Smith and Jigma thing. Jack Sawinski, I'm glad because he frustrates me. But all right, let's we move into the National League.
Yeah, let's move to the National League. The one thing I wanted to say an interesting thing I heard on podcast was James Paxton being an interesting name if the Red Sox fall off a little bit as far as going to a team. But I don't think he goes to a better offense than he already has. But
yeah, that's the thing. That would be interesting, man, because I think they could get a haul for him. The way, I mean, like, he's pitching so well. And a lefty arm, like everybody could use a lefty arm.
Yeah.
Unless you're the Angels. Too many.
All right. So yeah, we got Rockies, Nationals, Pirates, and Cardinals all here at the bottom. Cardinals, I think, still get some of that Cardinals magic built into their playoff projections, despite being so far behind.
Yeah.
We're about to be on the clock here, but
Pirates, I think, are definitely contenders to sell.
So I'll let you wax poetic on who you think is a good option there in terms of
for you or as a trade.
For trades for the Pirates.
Yeah, I love David Bednar, dude, but I think he's definitely liable to get moved. It'll be a really tough sell to the fans though if they do. He's a Pittsburgh kid, and nothing more that Pittsburgh fans love than a kid that's from Pittsburgh himself. So that would be a tough sell to fans. That'd be a tough pitch to be like, hey, I know that we've been rebuilding for years, but we got to continue to rebuild and trade David Bednar because, like I said, man, fans like absolutely love Bednar, and so do I. I think he's good, but I think you have to consider trading him. I think you absolutely have to. As far as relievers go and the values that he brings, I mean, he does bring value. However, it's just something that you at this stage you have to consider. Like the team is not in contention to make the playoffs, and you can get a big return for him, but make that return something that can be experienced and utilized sooner than later is how I would if I was giving advice to Ben Cherington. But I do think Bednar can be moved, and obviously that's not anything for our contest. As far as bats, I don't foresee any bats that we're going to be drafting that will be moved.
Okay.
Personally.
And pitching, is there? I don't know. I can't think of anybody off the top of my head.
Well, Mitch Keller. So I guess I will correct myself there. Depending on it would be like I said, man. Trading Bednar is a tough sell. Imagine trading Andrew McCutchen after you just brought him back. Like that is another really tough sell. But he's honestly on the block. I mean,
sure,
he's having a really really good season for him, and just like objectively. And in that same vein, Mitch Keller as well is going to. They are going to receive calls about Mitch Keller. Like it's going to happen, and somebody's going to tempt them. I know, like somebody's going to make a pretty good offer for Mitch Keller. That would be very, very interesting if he went to, say, the Dodgers. I don't know, like what. I mean, they're calling up a lot of young guys to pitch. Like they're throwing bullpen games. I think they would love to change a bullpen game in that rotation to that's a Mitch Keller start.
Yeah,
I'm just like preparing myself for that reality because I think it's extremely possible.
It would be an awesome spot for him too.
Oh, dude, he would crush. Are you kidding me?
See what they could do with him.
Talents, what he's been able to do in Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
give him the LA Dodgers run support, the LA Dodgers park. Well, he already has a good park, and LA Dodgers coaching.
Yeah,
forget about it, man. He's a stud.
Yeah.
I would hate it, but
there's no way they try to move McCutchen, right?
Dude, they traded interdivision last year for
they'll do whatever.
The Cardinals. They'll do. Cherington doesn't care. He doesn't care. That's the thing, man. Like those are the three options, and those are three fan favorites. People love those three. They love those three. But I mean, Cherington, I would venture to say, probably has like close to maybe one more year on his contract. I think GMs are usually like 7 to 6 years before they like extend, but they don't. None of that stuff is public with GMs. Yeah. They never announce that stuff. But Cherington's got to make some moves, dude. But the thing is he gets that little extra leash, that little extra leeway because he has the first overall pick this season, and he can take Dylan Cruz and kind of like get like, it's a shame, man. He just gets to fire more coal into the hope machine. It's just like, hey, like I know things aren't good right now, but we just got Dylan Cruz and Tamar Johnson's got like, it's just a perpetual rebuild.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm kind of like on a soapbox right now.
No, that's fine. That's great. You can get into it a lot better than I can.
They've got potential pieces there. But
so I jumped him up here. I didn't have to take him there, but it was fitting in the trade conversation. I grabbed Tyler O'Neill, who I've been mixing him in. As my last outfielder. Really the best outcome I think is a trade still for him. To the Yankees or something like that, where they're gonna play him often.
He would play a lot for the Yankees.
Yeah,
I think.
they have IKF playing center field, So,
Not
and
good.
pitching.
And pitching, as he struck out Eugenio Suarez swinging.
But I don't know. It still feels gross. But I've been trying to mix him in because I'm still crazy.
No, I think that it's fine because if he does get moved and he does get playing time, like I think a team is just going to ride out like the Tyler O'Neill experience if he was to get traded. They will just take the 30% K rate and let him homer when he homers. At this range where we're like the guys that we're looking at here in the outfield, like that is not a horrible pick.
And then I can't really think of too many other players. The Cardinals. I'd mentioned Montgomery from the thing I was listening to the other day as an interesting guy that they could trade for future pitching potentially. But otherwise, they're kind of set with their young core, and they're not going to get rid of any of their stars.
Yeah,
so there's not a ton to come out of there.
So. Mm-hmm. Yeah, maybe they've got some interesting closers to potentially trade, but for our contest, nothing really. You have, I think, the next team in the National League. I mean, we can either talk about the Rockies or the Nationals, but the Rockies, I don't think really know what they're doing. So CJ Cron could be traded, but I don't think they have like the wits about them to actually like do that. But I think the Nationals will make a trade. They have a better offense than I think people realize, and a lot of potential pieces there to move. But let me look at like Lane Thomas is obviously like their leadoff hitter right now, and he's like a little older. He's 27.
Yeah, what's his contract look like?
Let's see here. He's a free agent in 2026. He's arbitration eligible next year, so that is definitely like a nice controllable piece for a team that is not close. Like, like they got James Wood waiting. There's some promise there, but they're not particularly close. And I think a Lane Thomas trade would make a lot of sense there. I'm going to look up Luis Garcia here as well.
Okay. You're on the clock.
I've got Kerry Carpenter queued up.
Okay. All right.
Even though my outfield is like pretty good, this is about to be my 8th outfielder. I can't leave here without Kerry Carpenter.
And I took my guy Miguel Vargas as my 7th infielder.
Nice, dude. Vargas is a nice pick. I like that a lot.
I'm gonna end up, I think 6-7-7 here since I took Strider early.
Let's see. My infield is looking like Wander Franco, Yandy Diaz, Gunnar Henderson, Esau, Cronenworth. Okay, I think I need to ride out this 5 pitchers and just hope I hit the nuts. Brandon Lau is playing catch. Okay. You
have a pretty big stack already.
Yeah, it's too late. Let's go Rays.
Yeah. So there's a lot of pitchers here that I like, though. I might just go with the pitcher and hope my outfield is steady here.
A lot of pitchers you can make a case for here.
Kikuchi, Manoah, Cortez. You can make a case for all these guys.
Kyle Gibson.
Time out here and take DeGrom. There we go. Perfect. Streamer EV here. I wanted Cortez. I should have queued him first before I scrolled. But you know what?
Another day where DeGrom is still in auto draft territory.
Still under 200 ADP.
Even Vinny Pasquantino has made it into like undraftable auto draft territory. But
yeah, he's close to falling out.
Still up there. DeGrom's still being drafted in like every draft. Dude, I have a lot of DeGrom auto draft teams because I'm like doing something or my wife decides to have a conversation with me while I'm drafting, and now I'm like, oh yeah. And then
I said it last week because Dave got him while he was trying to set up his queue for stacks, and like it's just a bad user experience. Like I really hate that they did that. it's nice that I think, if you're paying attention, you can get some value off of it, but that's just dumb for the overall thing.
It is. It's very unfortunate because the volume in this contest just isn't enough that like it will naturally fix itself. Where like we draft 85 Chihuahuas an hour, and like the ADP will just like it'll fix itself within like a couple drafts.
Yeah.
We don't have the sample size here, so definitely a bummer. But I think you might be one of the last remaining DeGrom teams in this contest, and I think that's good luck.
Yeah, there you go.
At least your staff is like enough to withstand it if Julio comes back. I think you can.
Yes,
take that.
yeah, I agree. It's not like he's my fifth guy, but just disappointing overall from a user experience standpoint.
No doubt. Oh, Ha-Sung Kim with a homer. Nice. Going to be one of those slates.
Hey, he's. I always like him in Roto because he has so many positions he plays. But
no, he's a good player. He's been hitting the ball hard, so he deserves that leadoff spot against Patrick Corbin. I mean, he was hitting leadoff against Patrick Corbin, so definitely someone to mix in tonight if you didn't.
Yeah. Before we go, as the thing wraps up here, is there anybody else? Any other specific player that you think is an interesting mover that would benefit from a better team?
Good question here. It is interesting seeing like these standings here, and who can like potentially be on the move here. It's hard to say this early.
Yeah, I agree.
It really is. Like I feel bad. I want to like have like discussions on this, but maybe like Jerks and Profar potentially getting moved. If the Rockies like understand like wow, like they have a lot of young players. Maybe they're not good, but they've got a lot of young players. And if they just kind of open their eyes and like, like why are we holding on to CJ Crone, Chris Bryant, Jerks and Profar? What are we doing?
Mike Moustakas.
What are we doing?
What are we doing? Yeah.
Maybe these guys get moved. Who is to say? If the Cardinals continue to slide, though, I think you hit on it. Tyler O'Neill, definitely somebody that like will be an exciting piece to see where he ends up for sure.
Yeah, is there anybody on the Cubs if they take a little bit of a slide?
Oh yeah. I think there's
the contracts. I don't really know too much. I guess because Dansby Swanson's a longer term. How long did they sign Bellinger for?
Bellinger was 2 years. It was either 1 or 2 years, and I think it was $20 million a year. I'm looking at when I look at the contract numbers. I don't use Spotrac. This is a little nugget from your boy here. I don't use Spotrac. Okay. Spotrac is like notoriously like not accurate. I use something called COTS contracts, which is like COT. Well, Spotrac's decent for like every sport, but for baseball, I use COTS contracts, and he has like a Google sheet of like of all the contracts and everybody's signings. Bellinger that's nice. 1 year, 17 million with an option for 2023. It looks like, and he's definitely not gonna. He's going to decline that option.
Right. Yeah.
It's not a very pricey option. I think it's like $4 million by the looks of this here. So that's a nice call. If the Cubs continue to slide, Bellinger is going to be on the move. Stroman is pretty pricey, so he's a free agent in 2025. So I don't know that he's going to.
Seems like a guy that would like veto a trade though. He seems to like it. He seems to like it there in Chicago, at least.
Yeah, I like Stroman.
He's the sort of guy that I think wants to be the ace of a staff. Based on his attitude.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. Ian Happ, that's sneaky, man. He's a free agent next year. I did not know that. So
That's really interesting.
yeah, so let's talk about that, man. Ian Happ and Bellinger, 100% could be on the move if they slide.
I don't even know what Ian Happ's doing. Let's pull him up here.
He's not having like his best
Right.
work. Well,
He's still got a WRC plus 122.
because he walks so much. But that's wild, man. I wonder who has a WRC plus in the 120s that slugs as low as he does, because that's not a great slugging percentage at all. But
yeah,
when
and
you
that's really
walk
off too this year.
No, he has. That's you look at his slugging every other year. That's not normal for him to only be slugging 408. But the walks are just like out of this world right now.
Yeah, but that's an interesting name for sure. That might benefit on a better offense.
Yeah, and another reason why the Cubs could potentially be sellers is they made some moves last year. Like they've got like Pete Crow Armstrong. I know for one as a prospect in the wings. Like they made moves in the past and kind of like said, hey, like let's see what happens this year. If things fall apart, definitely. I mean, who doesn't want to switch hitting out like center fielder, right? He plays. Is that where he's primarily been playing this season?
I don't know.
Let's see here. Left field. Okay.
One interesting thing with the schedule change this year is I'm definitely not tied in as much as I am with the NL Central.
Yeah.
Oh, just paying attention to Brewers games. I'm not as tied into the NL Central as I had been in previous years.
It is kind of a bummer, right? Like I do like the idea of like playing everybody once, even if they don't come to your home park like every season. Like cool thought. But yeah, it is kind of like a bummer, you know. We don't get to face the divisional foes as often as we used to.
So he's played in left field 70 games in DH3. So
yeah, I mean, the Cubs, man, sneaky sellers, and you know we're drafting these Cubs right now, most of us at least, in hopes that they get the Coors matchups. But
yeah,
Hap could be playing games elsewhere. That's a good shot. I'm going to keep an eye on these on the standings there for the Cubs, because a lot of movable pieces for sure.
Yeah. All right. So run down here quick our teams before we hand out. I got Strider, Merrill Kelly, Logan Gilbert, Julio Urias, Bryce Miller, Jordan Montgomery, and hopefully the super fast healing Jacob deGrom for my pitching staff. He's going to blow Bryce Harper out of the water in terms of recovering from Tommy John surgery.
Yes, he
or
will.
Bracing or whatever he ends up getting. Then my infielder, Vlad Guerrero Jr., Lindor, Francisco Lindor, Carlos Correa, Willie Adames, Royce Lewis, Spencer Torkelson, and Miguel Vargas. A really strange infield for me, to be honest. This is not – there's a couple of pieces here I get like Vargas a lot, but this combination is different.
Yeah, it's like a little dual anchor there with Vlad and Francisco, but I like the upside that you have. I think Torkelson is a really awesome pick in the 200s right now. He's kind of like putting things together a little bit, and you got that stack with Riley Green, as we will see. So I like it, man.
Yeah,
Willie Adames too, a little buy low.
Torkelson is definitely a guy that benefits from this format.
He does.
Roto.
Mm-hmm.
Springer, from outfield, George Springer, Christian Yelich, Brandon Nimmo, Teoscar Hernandez, Riley Green, Tyler O'Neill. This is a pretty usual outfield for me, especially if I start with a Freddie Freeman, or maybe I take Semien early.
Mm-hmm. This is a really nice outfield. I think getting Springer, I think Springer has better days ahead of him too. You want to talk about, I mean, like you could name a million underperforming players, but I really like that outfield. That's a nice way to finish. Let's finish on that outfield. Oh boy.
All right. So you went thin here at pitcher.
I did. I haven't been doing this as much lately. I usually go 6. I'm usually a 6-7-7 builder lately, but yeah, I went 5 here.
Mitch Keller, Marcus Stroman, Jesus Luzardo, Jose Musgrove. I don't know why I just said that. It was funny enough that I started it in my head that I thought I would continue.
I wish it was Jose Musgrove. He'd be going in like the 70s though if he was Jose Musgrove. So maybe it's good.
Brian Bayo, Your infielder, Wander Franco, Yandy Diaz, Gunnar Henderson, Isaac Paredes, Jake Cronenworth, Orlando Arcia, and Brandon Lowe. So the thing that jumps out to me is you said you weren't doing that a lot at pitcher. I do like going wide here. If you're going to stack this much Tampa to really like commit a lot of it at one position and build up, I think that helps you get through the cold parts of when a particular guy is not contributing.
I hope so, because I've got a lot of them.
And then the outfield, Yordan Alvarez, Randy Rosarena, Cedric Mullins. That's an awesome, like, Yordan comes back. That's an awesome.
Yeah, and then I took 5 more after.
Yeah, I think that's my one criticism here. Then you followed it up with Jared Kelenic, Austin Hayes, Michael Conforto, who I still love just grabbing whenever I need an outfielder at that point. Yeah. He has been rising, but then Luke Raley and your guy, Barry Bonds Carpenter.
That's right.
Barry Carpenter.
I think if I could do things differently, I would sub Luke Raley for a pitcher.
Okay. Yeah.
If I could have that pick back, but I like this team a lot. I will say, I think big bet on Stroman, assuming that his results are going to continue here. Mm-hmm. But if this pitching staff holds up, I will say, man, it's been a while since like I've liked the 7th inning stretch team.
Okay.
I've really been not enjoying my teams lately, and it's like really frustrating, but I like this team, so maybe we just need to stream some more and I'll like my teams.
There you go. I mean, you came through for me tonight. I lost a few guests due to some other things, so you're welcome here. I
appreciate it.
Next week we'll be here on Thursday night. Should have, pending any changes, should have Brendan Tuma here.
Nice.
I think he should be back. He's off in Europe on vacation right now. So
I didn't even realize that. I did not know. Enjoy your time in Europe, Brendan.
Yeah, so he should be here. Working on some other people, starting to plan maybe for after this contest. So is closed. I should be back here every week till it starts. Any last words? Oh, we're way late here, but everybody watching, you've started to write up the daily slates. I meant to do this at the start.
Oh,
but yeah, do you want to throw your website that you've been doing your write-ups on?
I have a domain now. I am at nestakes.com. So I went from Google Sheets or Google Docs to my own little blog, which I still need to like touch up a little bit. But yeah, so I'm writing up the daily slates there, just like really, truly not stats heavy, just like a thing. I try to get it out as early in the morning as I possibly can, just for something to like overview for somebody that maybe is interested in the daily slates. Maybe they're just like want to know what's going on, what I'm thinking early on before lineups come out and everything. It nothing that I'm like trying to take too serious, but it's fun. So if you want to read up on some of the daily stuff every morning, hit up nestakes.com. I got you, man.
Yeah, and you can find Nez on all the Badge Bro streams. On Twitter at Nez Takes. You can find me on Twitter at the thing below me that is easier to read than say. And subscribe to the channel. I've been stuck at 114 for like 3 weeks.
Come on.
Just one person that's not subscribed. I'm sure everybody here is, but
let's hook up Dark Sheep, please.
All right. So with that, we will say goodnight, and everyone have a nice weekend.
See you, everybody.